Last time the Star Wars Chronicles of Prophesied King. Our heroes, now discovering F2 wants to be more than what he is, tries to make more watches and other inventions to help prove to Francesco that he is worth it. However, no matter how many times he tries, Francesco just looks at him not taking it seriously, and it causes them to have a little bit of a banter. Meanwhile, David is now beginning Cody's training, and in the process, they finally get a chance to meet the Trailblazers, where Cody manages to fend them off and pass his first test, though without some hardships. Now that the bonds have been broken, F2 and Francesco goes to a competition to see who's better. And though F2 built an amazing invention, Francesco ends up winning Cody's heart with the Eagle Man's suit. Now F2 decides to go out and try to prove Francesco wrong by any means necessary. Episode 13. Anto Incorporated. F2's departure was a week ago from now. Though our heroes felt bad for him, Francesco especially, they went back to their daily lives as they didn't know what would happen next. Francesco did as well, despite his feelings. The shift stones aren't going to find themselves. However, he's seen out looking through a clone project disappointed because of recent events as Sora helps Mikey in the background.
So far you're following the schedule rather well.
She was looking at the schedule sheet as she hardly noticed Mikey slowly walking away. However, one of his steps made a creak to her attention.
Hey!
What is it? He turns around to see an annoyed Sora.
Right now you should be taking the day off. You've worked hard the past 2 days, and you really need it.
As they stare each other down, they heard a sigh of Francesco by his laptop. He puts paper down with frustration. My life's work was all wasted for nothing. How could I be so foolish?
The guy hated being overshadowed.
You probably should have valued him more for what he was. He turns around towards him upsettingly. It's not just that. I made a discovery on why he was acting the way he was. So it turns out it wasn't just his DNA that didn't properly go through. It seems that his brain hasn't fully developed either. I think it's clear he's pretty smart. No, not his intelligence, his maturity. Starvanians and Earthlings are pretty similar in how they develop. Starting out as a child, and over time your mind becomes older with experience. Yet because F2 is the same age as I am, he never had the chance to fully develop that part of his mind.
It's like a kid learning things for the first time.
Exactly, and that's why I always think he's not taking it seriously. That's on me for not seeing that. He looks back at a piece of paper. If only I knew that weeks earlier. None of this would have happened. He slams his fist in the desk while cursing in frustration. You can still fix it, can't you? I'm sure you just talk it out, everything will be fine. Have you tried talking to a teenage mind?
Yes, but F2 is different. He's just misguided. I've seen those people all the time at my school.
She then turns over to Mikey with a thought.
I learned that if you give them the opportunity, they can also give you another chance.
Francesco thinks it over and he gets up a little motivated. You have a point, Sora. Yet he won't listen to me after how I acted. He had cited 2 kids for a second before he had an idea. He does hold you 2 to high regards. Maybe you can talk him down for me. I really think you should do that yourself. Francesco went to his knees in a begging look. Please, my king, I need you to do this. It goes beyond my life's work. F2 and I could do more than anyone could possibly imagine. I failed to see that until now, and he won't let me apologize with that in mind. Please help me. Mikey awkwardly looked at him as he looked over for Sora's input. She shrugs her shoulders, and he sighs, knowing there was no way out of this. It's supposed to be my day off. I guess I have the time to help you. Francesco gets up with glee. Perfect. Make sure you tell him how sorry I am. I want him to understand I didn't want to cause any of this. Could you do that for me? Mikey reluctantly nods, and Francesco sends them off with that mission. They had to see David continue to train Cody as they sparred outside. It was pretty even as neither side was going too hard. That's it. I can tell you're getting swifter, but let's crank up a notch. Cody nodded confidently, and he went over to the side of the building to get the mechanical Eagle Man suit. He puts it on and goes in for another round. The R2 just watched with David noticing. What's up with you guys? Cody turns around to see them as well. Impressed with what you see? I'm just warming up. Great to hear, but we gotta run an errand for Francesco right now. What kind? It isn't involving that clone, is it? If it is, then someone should pick up that phone for I called it.
Something going on with F2?
David and Cody both looked shocked after hearing that. I thought you 2 would have been the first to hear. He's starting his own business on the other side of town. Mikey and Sora looked at each other dumbfounded. You two should really act now while you have the chance. We can make it big in the next minute for all we know. As for us, we should get back. I have a feeling there's still many features to this suit I have yet to discover. David nodded and they went back in. Sora and Mikey knowing what they had to do. They eventually rolled up to an old one-story building that had a rusty sign that just said laboratory on it. God damn, it's just like my orphanage.
I've seen jail cells treated better than this.
Mikey looks at her strangely.
Don't ask.
He just lets it slide and they went over to knock on the door. The cranky door opens after one knock, revealing the dirty-looking inside. From the other side rolled up a black robot that truly looked like 10.
Welcome, travelers. Would you like a cookie?
He opens up his chest to bring out a plate full of chocolate chip cookies on it. The two kids gave awkward looks as the three silently stood there. They didn't hear footsteps of someone coming over.
Anti-10, do we have a customer?
They see F2 come over with an eager look, but just went away as they saw the kids.
Oh, it's you.
Oh, there you are, F2. How you been? He put his disappointed look to give a more welcoming one.
My two friends, good to see you. I'm doing well, if you can't no doubt tell. Come on in. Let's catch up over a plate of my robot's great cookies.
The scene cuts in another room with the three sitting at the desk with a plate full of cookies next to them.
So, I've seen you created your own business. Indeed. This will soon one day not only rival Francesco, but outbeat it. It's just starting, obviously, so it's going to be a while, but just wait. It will all come together soon.
The time ticked by for a bit as F2 took and ate one of the cookies. He took another one and held it in offer.
He makes the best in town. I highly recommend you try.
Both of them awkwardly did, and after taking a bite, they noticed it was nicely cooked.
Not sure how he finds the ingredients, but I guess it doesn't matter if it tastes this good.
They then slowly swallowed it as they threw it away. Anyway, F2.
No, it's no longer F2. I'm tired of that silly nickname. I decided on something a little more me. I've still yet to think of a proper name, but I went with something that goes for what I stand for. That being everything he's against. So for now, you could call me Anti-Francesco. But that's an obvious mouthful. You won't believe how many times I twisted my mouth. Saying that, in short, you can actually call me Anto. What do you think? If you're happy with it, then I don't see the issue. Thank you. Now, go on with your question.
Right. Anto, we've been sent by Francesco to talk about burying the hatchet. After hearing that, Anto laughed hard while hitting his desk.
You're serious, right? You want to bury the hatchet?
They both nodded their heads concerned.
Tell him that he should have thought of that when he had the chance. He knew what he was getting into with me, and this is the price he has to pay. Now, please, tell me that's not the only reason you came today.
Well, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, if there's something you want to talk about, feel free.
Anto thought for a moment, and he got up to walk around his thoughts.
I would have thought my friends would like to spend some time with me today. We've been through a bit, and I thought we could possibly do something.
Mikey sort of looked at each other, unsure what to do.
We could help you grow your business.
Anto turned back to him intrigued, but he went back into his thoughts once more.
As much as I appreciate it, you guys are kids. I don't think you would be that much of help. No offense, but...
He then thinks it over as he sees the two kids still unsure.
Then again, you could be of some use. Alright, I made up my mind. I know exactly how you guys can help me.
The scene then cuts to Mikey and Sora holding signs up for his shop, with Mikey remaining unamused. Of all the things I chose to do for training, this was it? Sora seemed a little more enthused, but also a little annoyed.
Well, you agreed to help him. Yet I do have to admit that this isn't helping anyone show up.
They notice everyone ignored the signs as they passed by. Isn't child labor illegal in some states?
It's not like he's thinking straight.
Eventually, Anto came out with an excited expression.
How many customers showed up today, buddies?
He He too saw that no one came over and gave him a chance.
Damn, it must be a slow day.
Like you rolled his eyes. Yeah, I'm sure that's why people are ignoring you.
You probably need another angle. This seems a little outdated, wouldn't you think?
Anto thought for a moment, and he nodded his head.
You're correct. What I need is something that fits the modern style today. A new form of advertisement that can make anyone excited for my company.
But he returned to his thoughts a little dumbfounded.
Yet the problem is I don't have the budget to do so.
You can make a homemade one. People do like a good underdog story. Anto nodded with excitement.
Good idea, Starboy. We shall make our own commercial with what we have. With my intelligence and your acting, it will be the best.
He goes back in to get things prepared.
Great planning, man.
I was just hoping that this would put an end to this stupid sign business. A couple days went past once more. It was getting shorter by the minute. Francesco continues to look through the computer nervously as Cody was practicing his breathing techniques. David also comes in with a weird drink in his hand. Nothing like a good football game to a great Sunday. He turns on the nearby TV to see two teams go at it. As he did, he notices Cody's breathing weirdly. How are you doing? Cody knows, and he puts up a piece of paper to show him. I heard these styles of breathing can help better your endurance. Make your breathing more regular while also getting less winded easily. You should try it. David looks at him weirdly. Are you saying I'm out of shape? Offended? David and Cody almost chuckled as Francesco came over to investigate the noise. Oh, you're sports fans. My friend Lewis is a big Cardinals fan. He got me into it after a while. I personally like soccer over any other sport out there, but each to their own, I suppose. Cody notices Francesco still seemed nervous. What's getting into you? You haven't seen Michael Sore anywhere, have you? I heard they're staying at Anto's place for a while. Yeah, that's what he calls himself now. Is that a problem? They were supposed to help me rekindle my relationship with... Anto? Give it time. He'll come around eventually. Speaking of which, take a look at this commercial. They turn on TV as David turned the music up. They see Anto on the screen in front of a blue light.
Modern day equipment too hard to use? Not working the way they should? Do you feel helpless to the possessions that are meant to help you? Don't fret, for I have that solution. My name is Anto Fran, and I've come to your aid for your convenience. I know what it's like to feel helpless to those types of things. That is why I created this company. Here at Anto's Laboratory, I make it my mission to help you better your material to fit your needs. Why bother trying to understand complicated instructions when I can make it simple for you, especially with these ridiculous prices, to attempt to fix it? You can come to me for anything. Blenders, toasters, washers, even those handmade grills that don't appear the way it was on the box. You bring it in, I fix it. I'll make sure that it comes back better than how you sent it, even if it's in perfect condition, for that's my guarantee. Starting at the rate of $20 to $100, depending on the item in question, I'll make that shiny new product. Bring it over before you pay, and if I don't do my job to the full potential, then I'll do it for you for free. That is my promise to you. But don't just take my word for it. Listen to these thankful customers.
The screen cuts to Mikey in a weird outfit and a toaster in his lap. I used to think that this toaster just constantly left my bread half-baked. Thanks to Anto, I was able to make the crisp toast I always dreamed of to start my morning strong. It then cuts to Sora in her own weird outfit and microwave in hand.
Every time I make popcorn, I swear it's impossible to get it just the way I like it. After receiving Anto's help, I got many golden pop treats for my liking.
Finally, back to Anto.
Call now at 800-389-5010 now to get your equipment fixed. And if you call now, I'll make it a buy one, get one free. So that's 800-389-5010. Anto's Laboratory, making life easier for your convenience.
It goes on to the next commercial on the TV as the three looked at it confused. I want to be in that commercial. Francesco begins to fear it's going to be too late. You guys don't think that business would rise, do you? Why would that be a problem? If anything, shouldn't you be happy for him? If he does get as successful as you say, Then he'll never rely on you anymore? Francesco sees Cody put on a serious face. You know, I'm a pretty big fan of your work, but you need to seriously let go of some things, let people be their independent self. If this Eagle Man training has taught me anything, it's that you should respect a person's independence, even if that person is a clone of yourself. Besides, isn't this what you wanted? Francesco thinks it over as Duper glues his eyes back to the TV. Perhaps you're right, Cody, but I still feel bad about ignoring him. I really do want to make up with him. Meanwhile, we go back to see the others back at the rundown business. They too watch the TV with the commercial on.
Just so you know, I risked a lot to help you with this. Yeah, I'll pay in due time. What's important is that commercial brings in the customers.
Nike still was confused with something. Hold on, what do you mean by risking a lot? Before his answer, they heard a door open to see a man come in with a blender. Hello, I heard this was the place to fix your equipment. Anto hears this and he quickly shuts off the TV to rush over. He also orders the two to sit there for now.
Yes, greetings, sir. What seems to be the problem?
He holds out the blender cautiously. My blender is hard to control. It doesn't go in the right settings, and sometimes it just doesn't work. Anto takes it and studies around for what the problem is. I can pay, I just want to fix it. It has a lot to do with my career. Anto nods understanding and looks back in with a smile.
I think I know what's wrong. Give me 1 second.
He leads back into the room where the kids are at. They see him with a blender.
You got your first?
Anto brings out some tools and a mysterious blueprint as he ignores a question. He quickly uses it to seemingly fix the problem and tests it out to see if it works. It did, and he brought it out with glee.
Sir, it seemed this was sold to you with a faulty spinner. I just fixed it up for you and should be good to go. Yet, to prove it worked, would you like to give it a test?
The man nodded and he took an orange he had and put it in the machine. He tried it out and it worked like a charm. He was impressed.
Seeing how the problem wasn't that huge, I think a $20 price tag on it. But since you are my first customer...
He stopped as the man put $40 in his hand. Thank you. I spent ages trying to get this to work. Now I can finally go back to being the top smoothie maker I was always meant to be. He runs off as Anto holds the cash in hand. He takes a look at it as the kids come out with anti-10.
Congrats on your first customer, sir. I think a celebratory cookie is in order.
He brought it out. Anto? He looks back at him excitedly.
Get more gear ready. It's time to really launch this business off the ground.
The kids probably look as Anto gets himself prepared for more customers. Now we are taken to a faraway meadow on top of a hill. There was a couple of trees with pink petals along the lake. There was also a house there that had a TV loudly playing. Also, a man who was listening to it as he calmly sat there in focus. It was Terry, as he was watching the commercial of Anto's. He was watching it with interest. So that's what they've been doing as of late. He turns it off as he notices his reflection on the screen. He looks at it disappointingly as he hears a knock on the door. It's open. After he said that, he sees the figure of Darky walk in. I figured I'd find you here. You had a beautiful spot for hiding. Terry looks upset. Go away. You know what you did. Darky walks over while putting his hood down. Terry wasn't focusing too much on him. I know. That's why I come to apologize. I sure remember that Fury is too much of a power cake for you to handle. Terry still looked upset as Darky sat next to him. You happen to know a guy. You happen to know a guy named Anto, have you? Can't say I heard a name, though there was a commercial with him just recently. Why? I heard that might be the boy's next trial. I tracked down Lighten to get the information, yet no matter what I did, he still didn't reveal his location. I figured he wouldn't, as long as I have a lead, that's all that matters. Terry shook his head in more disappointment. Is that why you came to me today? Just to find that boy? He sees a circle purple mask of Darky that covers his entire head with only red eyes piercing through. I suppose you're right. That is wrong for me to do. He gets up and holds his hand out to him. I'm sorry I'm putting too much pressure on you. You couldn't possibly imagine what I'm going through, and I'm not sure what you're going through either. Terry looks him upset once more, but accepts his gesture to help him up. It's quiet. Is a demon at bay? He refuses to talk with me. Ever since he fought the group, he just stayed my mind all silent. I didn't know I would go more insane with him gone than him here. You never know what you lost until you lost it. At the same time, you must be a little bit relieved, despite it not being your or his fault. With him gone, this must help you a little bit, not hearing his voice. Terry nods in understanding. I guess it makes me forget, but still, I want to help him. Maybe that is the key to finally breaking our curse. Darky walks beside him with his own understanding. Maybe so, but that's if he's willing to cooperate. You need time to figure that out. Terry didn't see Darky look at a vase on a nearby desk. Now, how long has this been here? He walks over to see Darky open it. They see yellow crystals inside. Terry looks at them confused as well. Shift stones? Who brought those over? Good question. Those are highly valuable things. He grabs one as time around slows to a halt. After it does, it goes back to normal after a few seconds. Slowly losing their power. Time has not been in favor of it. Terry takes his own to investigate. You don't think someone else has been here, have you? Well, if it isn't you... They didn't hear another door open to see a robot come in. It was 10. Oh, this might be the location he was talking about. He sees the shift stones in their hands. A friend of yours? I don't believe I met him. 10 comes over slowly. Pardon, sirs, but I must obtain those vase stones really quick. Darky blocked his path suspiciously. Now hold on, just what are you? That is none of your concern, sir. Darky still didn't budge as 10 tried to get around him. I do believe it is. This is supposed to be my friend's quiet place. There's no way anyone else knows where this place is. Terry tugs on his cape to get his attention. It's fine. He probably left it here by accident. Darky still looked at him suspiciously as 10 rolled away and grabbed it. As he did, he flew away as Darky had his doubts. I know it's a bit odd, but you need to stop acting like everything ties into something. It's alright to have my doubts. I've fallen into the wrong hands, and those shift stones could make someone extremely lethal. We now go back to Scottsdale as, you guessed it, another week has passed. Anto's business has finally taken off, and he made his office a lot more accustomed to his needs. Shinier, cleaner, and a lot more professional looking as he helps his next customer.
Man, I can't wait to be able to watch all the channels on this bad boy.
She takes her to as Anto waved goodbye. Mikey and Sora were seen working on King stuff inside as Anto walks in proudly.
What is she telling you now?
Mikey speaks out stuff in his sleep as his mother talks to him on the other side. Something about my dad and was blindsided by Dark Warrior's attacks and be more vigilant? They kept talking as Anto marched over to his desk in the other room. He sits on the desk proudly as Anti-Den hands him over some cookies.
Numbers are soaring. The profits are through the roof.
Anto takes and eats one with pride.
As to be expected, soon I'll surpass the likes of Francesco at this rate.
After he said that, he hears a door open.
Ah, another customer! Time to easily fix this solution.
Meanwhile, David, Cody, and Francesco stood outside the building intriguingly. Are you sure this is a good idea? It's been a week since you sent Mikey and Sora here. If they haven't convinced them already, then they ain't now. It's best that you have a talk with him to get this whole thing sorted out. Francesco takes a deep breath and walks right in. As he did, he sees a couple get their watches back.
Matching watches, how adorable. We got it for 1 year.
Yeah, couldn't thank you enough, Anto.
All part of the job. Now go do something special for yourselves.
They head out with happy looks. Anto didn't know as this Francesco staying there.
Who is this approaching my office? Why, if it isn't the smartest man in Arizona.
Francesco notices as well. Hi, Anto.
Oh wow, someone get a banner because he remembered my new name.
They went back to the office, they actually watch each other. Anti-10 offers him a cookie as Francesco takes one.
So, what brings you here today?
I've come to make things up with you. Anto gave a short laugh as he looked at him.
Sure, if I cared.
Look, I'm truly sorry. I didn't understand what's going...
Stop right there. You said quite enough to me. Always wanted to act so superior and constantly push me around. It hurt a lot back then. But here's the funny thing about this.
Anto walks up very close to him with a sinister look.
I don't care anymore.
Francesco looks confused and backed away. What do you mean? Anto walks away while laughing.
You know, I probably shouldn't be thanking you if it wasn't for your heartless comments. I would have the motivation to do this. I created a life for myself. A life that you could never give me.
But...
No buts. We're past this. It's clear you never understood what I was going through. Not even your shallow apology can help you realize that you were just wrong the entire time. I mean, come on, why bother creating a clone when you don't have any expectations for them? So idiotic.
Francesco looks down disappointed once more. It's not that I didn't have any expectations. Anto shuts him off once more.
Oh, please. Don't try to lie to me. How about you let me live my best life? You no longer matter to me anymore. People love me. I'm something to everyone else. As long as they like me, then what could you possibly do? Now leave. I have important business to attend to. I actually care about other people's problems, unlike you.
He motions him to leave, and Francesco reluctantly does so. He goes out to see the four wait there. Give me one of those commercials. I love to see myself on national television. Sora gave a quick chuckle as they saw Francesco walked away upset. So it didn't work out. Francesco just left as the four looked at him concerned. I guess they really didn't help him after all. Well, can't win them all. Anyway, I gotta go. Those burritos fell right through me. You're gonna run into the next room. Keep it to yourself, dude. Cody eventually finishes using the bathroom with relief. He begins to walk back, a lot less stressed as he hears a voice to his left. It sounded like Anto as he was talking to himself.
What do you mean that's all you can find?
Cody hangs back a bit as he has some suspicions.
Sorry, sir, but all the inventors like to make their inventions private. Of course they do! Don't they know how useful these things are if the public got hold of it?
They walked towards the hallway Cody was in, but didn't notice them. In fact, Cody took a piece of paper from Anti-10's hand as they walked by. After studying it, he discovers something quite jarring. He goes back to the group on the side of the building. This better be good. We're missing valuable time at the moment. Indeed, my mother's probably stressed right now. Okay. You guys won't believe this. He brings out a piece of paper just showing a blueprint.
It's just blueprints.
Cody shook his head. Not just any blueprints. This is Hyperclass 2066, created and patented by the Walden family. So, Anto stole his machine! I looked at him weirdly. What do you mean? What I mean is using this invention as his own. Cody brings out more papers. That's not all. I was talking to his office and found more blueprints of inventions that weren't his. He's been using them to fix those things and passed them off as his own. He then widened his eyes in shock.
Wait, are you saying he's a fraud?
That's exactly what I'm saying. This has got to be the biggest plagiarist crime I've ever seen. What pisses me off even more is the fact that one of them is my father's own invention to help better cars. That's bad, isn't it? But he just wanted to grow his business. I know, but I don't think he realizes what he's doing. He's ripping these people off without knowing he's ripping people off.
He needs to be called out on this. But a mind like his wouldn't just budge after being told no.
Which is why we should do the proper thing and tell people who will convince him. Are you sure we should? He isn't hurting anyone doing this. Cody shook his head upsettingly at him. How about you make something and have someone claim it as their own? Chances are you aren't going to be too happy about it. So then put her hand on his shoulder.
We have to put the people first and not let him do this any longer.
Mikey nodded understanding, and they went back to do just that. Now we're back with Anto at his office, looking at some forms.
Black Friday's coming up shortly. Should get some serious profits there. Indeed, I have the best ideas in mind.
Anto laughed as he wrote the thing down.
I bet you do, buddy. I bet you do.
He stops to hear someone walk up to his desk.
Sorry, we're closed at the moment.
He slowed his speech as he saw a man in a three-piece suit and a badge on his jacket. Are you the man that called Anto? Anto looks at him nervously.
Can I help you, officer?
He sees other men come out to start tearing down his lab. He gets up frantically to try and stop them.
Hold on. What's going on here?
The officer held him back. It seems you've been violating fair use to 22 different careers of inventions. We also found out that all the profits you made from them is invested into your business. So we're shutting this down as well as giving that money to respected creators. Angel looks at him angrily.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
He sees the officer hold up some of the papers that had the blueprints on it. You mean to tell me that all this is your inventions? Anto sees it nervously as the officer lets go of him as Anto remains in shock. That's what I thought. Alright, gentlemen, tear it all down. He turns back at Anto studiously. Anto, friend, for the act of stealing other people's work as your own and making a profit off it, you're responsible for letting go of your property along with your investments that care to it. You may now exit the building with your weird robot thing.
How did you find out, though?
He looks forward to see the four heroes stand there disappointingly. Seeing them here made the answer all too clear to him.
No, don't tell me. We had to, Anto. You can't just steal like that.
We want you to succeed, but not like this. It's for the better that you face your consequences. We're sorry, though. Yet that's the way it has to go. Anto looks stunned as the officer forced him out of the building. Thank you, fool, for alerting us before it goes out of hand. I can't imagine what people we could affect if you let this go. He tossed Anto out of the building into the streets, where everyone saw him do so. Anto lays on the ground still stunned as people walking around him. Anti-10 helps him up, but it doesn't help him out one bit.
How about a cookie to make you feel better?
He tries to put it into Anto's mouth, but Anto refuses to move a muscle. He just stood there all day as the people passed by. He finally came back to reality as he looked around to see his destroyed lab.
All my hard work, just like that?
He still couldn't believe what was happening as he walked down the street. He walked all the way back to the lab where he looked through the window as he saw the 5 eat dinner. They seemed to be having a good time as he watched through the window upsettingly.
How could they? I trusted them.
Anti-10 followed soon with a piece of paper in his hand.
Don't worry, we can use this creator's invention to get you back on top.
He hands over to let Anto see it. He widened his eyes to see something truly shocking to him. He walks away with his mind slowly losing his train of thought. He laughs a little as he comes to a realization. Then maniacally laughs as it echoes through the town.
That's it! You are indeed correct on that statement, Anti-10. This will get me back on top. They'll never see it coming.
He continues to laugh as he goes on the street with a paper in his hand. On it was a bounty on our heroes with the reward saying anything for their heads. He kept talking to himself.
I thought you were on my side, but now I know no one is. You can only defend yourself out there, and I'll thank all of you for showing me that. You'll all rule the day. You ruined my life.